Morning. Today is Tuesday. It's only Tuesday. March 9th, 2021. It says the first Barbie doll was put on display at the American Toy Fair in New York City in 1959. So first Barbie doll today. Let's see. Today's National Day is National Meatball Day. It says National Meatball Day is March 9th. Have you ever eaten a meatball? We have meatballs here at school pretty often. Do you like meatballs? I do. They're okay.
I love meatballs.
Yeah, they're all right. When do you eat meatballs? Generally with spaghetti. Sometimes we have them with mashed potatoes here.
Swedish meatballs.
Or meatball sandwiches we have here a lot. Swedish meatballs over noodles. Those are good. I don't know. It says many people eat meatballs with spaghetti. And it says our class thinks meatballs are round, tasty, and I don't really think they're spicy, but I mean, I guess they could be. You know, like people make those appetizer spicy meatballs with the jelly and the barbecue sauce. Yeah. Anywho. All right. This week's number is number 9. 9, N-I-N-E, 9 fish in our 10 frame. Our letter of the week is I, capital I, lowercase I, ice cream. Our shape of the week is the oval. It says long and round circle. Long and round. Popular oval shape is a watermelon. And a not so popular oval shape is an avocado. Our core word of the week is what? What do you want? What do you need? What did you say? And our safety word of the week is a first aid kit. You find this sign when there's a first aid kit around. You can see these in malls, sometimes in the back room of like department stores and stuff like that, probably by like the staff room or, stock room, things like that. They have a first aid kit. Miss Chrissy's going to do the weather real quick.
All right, so it is cold, but it's like going up to like 64 degrees today. We're really excited about this. So it is still cold, but not as cold as it has been. And it is sunny now, kind of. But they're saying it's going to get cloudy later on. So we're going to say it's sunny and cloudy. So our guy can still keep his little hoodie on. And it's sunny and it's March.
Okay, today's lesson is pretty short. We're going to review what we did yesterday when we did the Kid Inventors. So we're going to review Kid Inventors, do a quick reading checkpoint and a vocabulary, and then we are done for the day. So reviewing our Kid Inventors.
Inventors. What would life be like without electric lights? At night, your home would be completely dark. You couldn't see to read. You could bump into things. What a problem! Thanks to Thomas Alva Edison, we don't have to worry about that. He invented the first light bulb that worked well. He was an inventor. Inventors are people who solve problems. How do you invent something? First, you have to find a problem. Then, you brainstorm solutions for the problem. Next, you test out your solutions to see what works. When you have an invention that works, you name it and you let people know about it. Sometimes other people don't see that your invention is a good idea right away. A woman named Mary Anderson noticed a problem while she was riding in a city streetcar during a sleet storm. So much sleet fell onto the windshield that the driver could barely see. She invented something to solve the problem: windshield wipers. Windshield wipers didn't become popular right away. But can you imagine driving in a car with no windshield wipers today? Inventions often help people. Louis Braille wanted to help blind people read. They could not see the words. He was blind himself. So, when he was 15 years old, he invented an alphabet made of raised dots. A blind person can feel the dots and read the words. We call this alphabet Braille. George Washington Carver was a scientist and an inventor. He had encouraged farmers to plant peanuts because it was good for their soil. But the farmers didn't know what to do with all the peanuts they had planted. So, George invented more than 300 products made from peanuts, such as peanut flour, peanut glue, and peanut shampoo. An inventor is the first person to create something. For hundreds of years, people wanted to create a machine that could fly like a bird. The problem was that no one knew how to do it. Then the Wright brothers came along. In 1903, they invented what they called the flyer, and what we call the first airplane. The Wright brothers had no idea that their invention would become a major way to travel. Now, about 23,000 airplane flights take off in our country every day. Could you be an inventor?
What invention did you like best? Why?
All right, our vocabulary for the week.
Invent. To think up and create something new and useful. Inventors. Inventors are people who think up and create new and useful things. Sew. To make or repair something using a needle and thread. Accident. When something happens by accident, it was not planned or meant to happen.
And then our last thing is the reading checkpoint. Okay, it says, number 1, before Chester invented earmuffs, what problem did he have? Did he have cold feet when he was ice skating? His ears got cold when he was ice skating, or his nose got cold? Well, considering earmuffs go on your ears, we're going to select ears. Earmuffs. His ears were cold. Number 3, how did Tom solve the problem of wanting to ski and skateboard at the same time? He just forgot about it, he invented earmuffs, or he invented the ski board, later called the snowboard? Well, considering the other two have nothing to do with it, we're going to go with the third one. He invented the ski board. And what problem did Catherine solve with wristies? Okay. I don't remember that in the story, but okay. Her nose got cold, her wrists got too warm, or her wrist got cold. I honestly have no idea. I mean, that would make the most sense. I don't know. Why don't I remember that? Catherine had a problem. She liked to build snow forts, but her wrists got cold. Okay, so Catherine's wrists were cold. All right, it says, which was your favorite invention, and draw a picture. Okay. And then our last thing for the day is just another short video on
Growing up, my
inventors.
grandfather was a tremendous influence on my fascination with the world around me and with innovation. He was a rocket scientist for the Apollo programs, and he was just innately curious about how everything worked. I think he sort of passed that curiosity on to me. I got started inventing when I was about 7. My mom would always read to the family about various world issues. During the Somali famine of 2011, many parents and their children fled their homes and walked weeks to refugee centers. Unfortunately, many of the children were left by the roadsides to die due to the fact that their parents simply couldn't carry them all that way. If you gave them some way to carry those children, you might be able to save those kids. The Native American Plains Indians used a device called a travois. And the travois seemed to me to be a perfect solution to this problem. After about 7 months of prototyping, I designed a travois made almost entirely out of bamboo and other materials that could be very easily procured in Africa.
I found an amazing competition, the EPALS Smithsonian Invented Challenge. Lexi went ahead and entered with her travois, and she won for her age category, and she won an all-expense-paid patent application. And now she has a patent.
The next problem I decided to tackle was that about half of house fire deaths are due to smoke inhalation alone. When you have people trapped on the second stories of burning buildings, a lot of the time you have first responders waiting down below, completely unable to help. A smoke mask can keep out the smoke, but the problem is there is no way to get it up there. The emergency mask pod is basically a 2-part football canister, which holds a smoke mask, a pair of goggles, and a little light-emitting device, just to increase visibility in a smoky environment. Designing the EM pod was most definitely a process of trial and error. I ended up working with the local fire departments to have firefighters test the accuracy of the various prototypes to figure out which one was best and if it was a feasible idea for actually deploying in the field. With the aid of a 3D printer, I was able to go from a concept to a very real object in a matter of a couple hours.
I think that's her passion, is to find a problem in our society and in our communities, not only locally, but across the world. And, apply some common sense and some hard thinking and some science to that to find a solution that works.
This specific prototype, and then there were several varieties of various different... Hey, look. Oh, who's that?
Today we're in Spark Lab, which is part of the Smithsonian's Lemelson Center for the Study of Invention and Innovation.
At age 12, Alexis...
I think it's really great to have Alexis featured here. This is a place where we really see mostly kids ages 6 to 12. So I think that being able to see somebody that looks like them is really empowering for our visitors.
I'm really excited to see my invention featured here. Now I'm hoping that when kids come through the Spark Lab, they'll see that kids can invent, and hopefully they'll do the same. This gives me 2 millimeters of clearance on each side. It's vitally important to create opportunities for young people to invent. So on a local level, I'm trying to spread the message that inventing is something that's simple, human, something that kids can do by teaching workshops. Oh, see how that's 9.90? On a larger level, I'm trying to tell kids across the country that they can invent by promoting a middle school elective called Inventing 101, which would hopefully spur on that innovative spirit. That'd be hard to print. I'm hoping that I can do for others what my grandfather did for me, to pass on the invention and innovation bug and to inspire the next generation to have a fascination with the world around them and to understand that they are capable of changing it.
All right, guys, that is it for today. we will see you guys tomorrow.